everybody, this is Tony, and you are in the music room. And we're so glad you are. Thank you so much for being here for another episode of the Music Room Live. We're so happy to have you here talking music with us. Today we're going to drop the tailgate, talk a little country music. This time, Keith Urban and his brand new record, The Speed of Now, Part 1. Just came out last Friday, September 18th, and we have a lot of thoughts on the record. Before we dive into things, just want to ask you, you know it's coming. You see that red subscribe button down there? Could you give it a click for us? We truly appreciate it. That way you'll never miss a video from the Music Room Live, and you can stay up to date on all the things that we have going on. So we truly appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get into Keith Urban's new record, The Speed of Now, Part 1. Now this video is going to kind of accompany the written piece that we have over on our website, themusicroom.me. You can check that out, get a track listing, and kind of get an overview of our thoughts. We like to go a little bit more detail here in the videos because there's some things that might just get a little too wordy to type, and a lot of you people are we know people are on the go, so it might be easier to listen as opposed to try to read everything. So check that out. Again, it's over at themusicroom.me. It's some more information about Keith Urban, but we're going to dig a little deeper. If you did read our written review, you're going to know that this album really did not do much for us, and it's not because we're not Keith Urban fans. Followed Keith for a long time, since the beginning of his career actually, and I've always been a fan and always check out any new music that he puts out. And while The Speed of Now Part 1 may not be an album for me, I cannot question the man's talent. I won't question the man's talent. He's amazing. Great singer, awesome guitar player, and he just kind of took some chances on this record, kind of expanded a little bit, and that's just not really anything that I wanted to hear, but that's okay. I do think that all of Keith's millions and millions of fans out there will be very pleased with this record. He has one of the most loyal fan bases out there, so if you're a Keith Urban fan watching this, you may not agree with me, but I hope that you're happy with the record. I hope that you love it, because really, that's all that matters. And that's not to say that this whole record is bad. I don't believe that. I believe that somewhere in here, there is a good record. I have a couple different problems with the way that the album was put together, and that's what I'm going to kind of go into a little bit. First off, I think that sequencing a record is so important. Basically, the order that the songs go into. It really does matter. You can't just throw songs on a record and put it out there and say, here you go. I think some of the best records have the best thought put into that process. Some songs flow better into others, and you want to put a ballad in. Get people fired up there for 2-3 songs, put a ballad in. Get them fired back up, maybe get another ballad in. But it's really important, and I just feel maybe this record wasn't sequenced or tracked the best it could have been. It opens up with a song called "Out the Cage," and this is probably the most I don't want to say experimental song, but the most kind of different song. Keith works with Nile Rodgers on guitar and Breitland. I may say that wrong. I guess he's a country rapper. This track is very, very different. It sounds like something you'd hear at a club. Kind of some frantic beats going on, and to me, the first song out of the gate, this was not the best thing to do. I would have put a really strong Keith Urban-esque song in there, and maybe save this for a little bit later down the record to kind of get people hooked and say, hey, then check this out. So then we go into One Too Many with Pink, and I'm going to tell you that I love, 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 love this song. Pink has a history of working with country music stars. She's worked with Kenny Chesney, she's worked with Chris Stapleton, and it's always been awesome. One Too Many is not an exception. I love this song. However, coming in after this crazy Out of the Cage song, right into what I think is like the highlight of the record, I don't know. I just think that the record's off to a weird start. I would have saved this song for a little bit down the line, maybe like track 4 or 5, and really had that aha moment, but I think it kind of got wasted. You had a really bad track to start the record off with, and then you have a great track like this, and I think it didn't work. From there, we go into a track, Live With. It's a country ballad. It's a very Keith Urban-ish song. I like it. It's good. A song called Superman is next. Again, this is one of those kind of upbeat songs I was talking about. This one here is poppy. I don't know, like this song kind of drives out to a fact, and it may be because of how Keith had to record the record with the time of the pandemic and everything, but there's a lot of, it sounds like drum machines and synthesized beats all throughout this record, and I can't stand it. One track maybe two tracks, but like this song is a perfect example of that. These synthesized beats, heavy drum machine, and I think maybe that kind of ruins what could be a great song, but still a good song. Throws in a Johnny and June reference just to try to hang on to some country cred there. I have to say, I think Keith is trying to keep one foot in country music while experimenting into some other types. You remember that scene from the movie Elf, where he gets on the escalator and he's terrified. He puts that one foot there on the thing and he keeps the other foot back, and before you know it, he's stretched out. That's kind of what I think about with Keith Urban and country music. I think he has one foot there, but he is stretched far. Actually, I think this record, I hear Post Malone in this record. I really do. I think that Keith's been listening to what's going on in music right now with Post Malone and artists like that, and I hear a lot of that on here. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing, I guess, but too much and it doesn't really get executed well. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. A lot of this record just doesn't work for me. So we'll get down to Change Your Mind. To me, maybe this might be the best vocal on the record. Again, we have a lot of the synthesized beats, and this one that has a very Post Malone feel to it. But it's not a bad song. I dig Post Malone, I really do. I just don't know if I dig Keith Urban doing Post Malone. But again, that's just my opinion. That doesn't mean that's the way it is. So go on to a track called Forever. Probably the most country song, one of the most country songs on the record, and a killer guitar solo from Keith Urban on Forever. So again, there's some really good songs on this record, so don't get me wrong. I'm not trashing the whole thing, just the whole thing as a whole. Make sense? Alright, let's keep going with these songs. Say Something is the next track. Kind of think it was just the time for Keith to make a statement on what's going on in the world, and it is what it is, Say Something. Soul Food. Don't like it. Ain't It Like a Woman. A good country song, a little R&B feel to it. I think it's a good, strong song. I enjoy that one. Ain't It Like a Woman. With You, another great Keith Urban song. Like, it really has that flair, that feel of classic Keith Urban. What I would expect from a Keith Urban record. And then we get to a track called Tumbleweed, and this is probably my favorite song on the record. It is a country song. It's got a little rock edge to it, which I've always liked that about Keith. He's always had a rock edge. I think maybe that's why this album threw me, because there's more of an R&B edge. But Tumbleweed is killer. I love Tumbleweed. I think it's a great song. Probably the song of the album for me, right along with that Pink song. I would have put Tumbleweed higher up on the album, maybe like the second track. It really kind of come out strong, and I think it kind of gets buried here at the bottom of the record. Next track, God Whispered Your Name. I think this one was a single off the record. Not a bad song at all. I could imagine this one being like a wedding dance for people. A good song. I like it. It's got an acoustic and some Hammond organ in there, so I think it's got a good feel to it. Polarized. Another song where Keith shows off his guitar talents. Guy's phenomenal on a 6-string guitar. The song actually has an acoustic guitar part, and it has the beats on it, but it works for this song. So, like I said, it doesn't always not work, and this is one of those examples where I think it pulls it off pretty well. So, I guess you could say this album has me a bit polarized. See what I did there? Alright, so we're getting close here. We have Better Than I Am. It's an R&B ballad. My note on here is not good. This was one of my favorites, but that's okay. And then for track 15 and 16, we had the same track. It's called We Were. The first track version is of Keith Urban doing it by himself, and then it's followed up by the same exact song with Eric Church singing. I don't really think we needed it on here twice. I think we could have just done the version with Keith and Eric. It would have been great, and we could have wrapped it up. It just feels a little redundant at that point. So, 16 songs on this record, and I think that's another one of the problems. We have the sequencing of the tracks, and I think we just have too many tracks on here. I could easily have cut this down to like a 10 to 12 song record, and I think it would have been a very strong record, and my feeling would have been a little different. However, I think it was just a little too much on here. The word I used to describe the record is hodgepodge. There's just so much of everything thrown in. It feels unfocused. It feels unbalanced. And I just have a hard time. I love records that have a vibe to it. And this record, it loses me. It's kind of all over the place. And maybe if we would organize the songs a little bit differently, cut down on some of the songs, I think we could have had a pretty good, strong record. At least for my palate, I guess. But that's just my opinion. Like I said, I think Keith Urban is one of the most talented guys out there. I think he's a great guy. And it's just, this record for me isn't anything that I'm interested in probably going back and revisiting. A few of the songs on here, like that Pink song, One Too Many, and that song Tumbleweed, I'll definitely be checking those tracks out again. But you notice I don't have the record here with me. It's not one that I really could lay down the money to buy. So that's my opinion. I hope that maybe you can take some things out of here and make a decision for yourself whether or not it's one that you want to buy. Obviously, if you're a Keith Urban fan, you probably already own this record. You're probably fuming at me right now, and that's okay. That's a great thing about music; it can affect us all differently. So, if you have thoughts, please leave them down in the comments section. You can let me know why I'm wrong. That's okay. Let me know why you love the record, or let me know your thoughts on it. Just all I ask is let's be respectful. We can disagree. That's no problem there, but let's just keep it cool, respectful. Trolls are not welcome, and let's just have a conversation, okay? So there it is, Keith Urban, The Speed of Now, Part 1. I have to assume there's a Part 2 coming out. We'll see. You know what? If Keith Urban puts it out, I'll at least give it one listen, or two listens, and give it a fair shake. So thank you guys again so much for being here. Be sure to check out some of our other videos. We have some country music, we have some pop, we have some rock, we have some metal. Check us out at themusicroom.me. That's our home on the web. Sign up for our email list because we're constantly giving away vinyl. At least once a month we're giving away a brand new vinyl album. And just by being on our email list, you're going to have the inside track on that. We are also giving away an Audio Technica turntable before the end of the year. We've already given one away. It's the turntable we use here in the music room. They're awesome. I love it. And we're going to give one of our email subscribers a turntable before the end of the year. I'm thinking maybe around Black Friday. And if we can hit 1,000 YouTube subscribers, we're going to give away another turntable just for our YouTube subscribers. Click that red subscribe button and you will be in the running for that turntable. Thank you guys so much for being here. Stay tuned for another episode coming real soon. I hope I didn't make you mad, Keith Urban fans. It's just, you know how it is sometimes. Take care, guys.